What is up, YouTube? My name is Nick, and welcome to another video. In this one, I'm ranking each NBA franchise 1 to 30 in terms of regular season wins in the game of NBA 2K. I did use team overalls as a tiebreaker, as well as offensive rating in certain cases if a team had the same record as another team. And I did have to use defensive rating for a tiebreaker for the Philadelphia 76ers and Atlanta Hawks selections. So without further ado, let's get started with number 30 on our list, which is the 2006-2007 Washington Wizards squad. I was surprised to find out that this team actually had a 500 record, 41-41. It's the only Washington Wizards classic team in 2K, and their team in real life did not have a better record. So I had to use this team. I wasn't going to use the real life Wizards. So this Wizards squad lost in the first round. They're 81 overall, and their offensive rating was 110.1. They included players such as Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jamison, and Brendan Haywood. Number 29 on the list is the 1992-93 Charlotte Hornets. They were 44-38. They lost in the conference semifinals of the playoffs that season. They're an 80 overall in the game of NBA 2K23, and they had a 109.5 point offensive rating. The reason they're ahead of the Wizards is because they had a better record. So if you have some of these offensive ratings are lower than a team below it, it doesn't matter because I went by regular season wins first. So yeah, this Hornets team did include Alonzo Mourning, who's probably their best player, and they also had Steph Curry's dad, Del Curry, on this squad. Moving up to number 28, this seems really low to put this team, but the 2011-2012 Oklahoma City Thunder find themselves here with a 44-19 record. They lost in the NBA Finals to the Miami Heat that season. They're an 83 overall in the game, and they averaged 109.8, or they had 109.8 offensive rating. This team is well documented for being the team that included Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, but as we all know, James Harden ended up leaving this squad to sign with the Houston Rockets, and they had a number of years with KD and Russ after that. So this team was absolutely stacked. They had the big three there. They also had Kendrick Perkins and Serge Ibaka as their big men, and they had guys coming off the bench such as Nick Collison, and Derek Fisher was on this squad. Lakers, good player for the Lakers. So yeah, the Thunder find themselves here. Moving to number 27, we have the 1971-72 New York Knicks. They had a 48-34 regular season record, and they lost in the NBA Finals. They're an 82 overall in the game, and they had a 98.5 offensive rating. So lowest offensive rating thus far. It wasn't as much scoring back in the 70s, obviously, because the three-point line wasn't there. And yeah, the Knicks find themselves here. Willis Reed is one notable player from this team that I can think of offhand. Number 26, the team I selected for the Atlanta Hawks was the 1985-86 team, and they find themselves at number 26. They had a 50-32 record. They lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals. They were an 80 overall. They had a 107.9 offensive rating, and then the first team I included with a defensive rating, they had a 105.6 defensive rating. This squad included players such as Dominique Wilkins and Doc Rivers. Definitely this was a fun team. Looked like it was a fun team to watch at the time. But yeah, they find themselves pretty low on the list as well. And then the team above them, the aforementioned 76ers, who I mentioned earlier, I selected their 1976-77 squad. They were 50-32. They lost in the NBA Finals that season. They're an 82 overall in the game. They had a 101.2 offensive rating, and then a 97.6 defensive rating. The reason they're ahead of the Hawks is because, yeah, they're an 82 overall, so 2 higher than the Hawks, and then their defensive rating is lower than the Hawks. This squad had Julius Erving on them, so yeah, and some other notable players I can't think of offhand, but yeah, that's Philly. They're at number 25, the 77 Sixers. Number 24 is the 2001-2002 New Jersey Nets. They had a 52-30 record as well. They also lost in the NBA Finals, but in that season it was to the Lakers. They are 79 overall in the game, so the lowest overall, I believe, on this list. Yeah, along with the Houston Rockets, which we'll get to later. The 02 Nets had a 99.5 offensive rating. This squad had Jason Kidd and, well, some other notable players, but yeah, Jason Kidd is one notable guy on this squad. The next team is the only current NBA team on the list, the 2022 to 2023 Denver Nuggets, the recent NBA champions. They had a 53-29 regular season record. They're an 82 overall in the game, and they had a 117.6 offensive rating. Surprised that the Nuggets were this low on the list. I thought they would be higher. There's just so many great records for other squads in NBA history that the Nuggets only find themselves at 23. At number 22, we have the 2013-14 Indiana Pacers. They had a 56-25 regular season record. They lost in the conference finals to the Miami Heat that season. They are an 80 overall in the game, and they have a 104.1 offensive rating. This Pacers squad included Paul George, Danny Granger, who's not in the game, and Roy Hibbert, who's also not in the game. But yeah, Paul George is the most notable guy here, along with Lance Stevenson, who is in 2K. So yeah, those are their main guys: Paul George, Lance Stevenson, and they also have George Hill, who was a really solid point guard for them. So yeah, number 22, the 2014 Pacers. At number 21, we have the 2012-2013 Grit and Grind Memphis Grizzlies. They were 56-26. They lost in the conference finals that season to team I mentioned just now, the Miami Heat, who are on this list later on. This Grit and Grind Grizzlies team is 80 overall in the game, and they have had a 104.9 offensive rating. They included Zach Randolph, and Tony Allen, among other players, and Mike Conley as well. The next squad is an NBA champion. The 2010-2011 Dallas Mavericks. They had a 57-25 record. They defeated the Miami Heat in the finals that year. They are an 83 overall, and they have had a 105 offensive rating. This squad, pretty well known for having a lot of role players around Dirk Nowitzki, including Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, and Jason Terry, among other guys. The next squad is the big comeback squad, the 3-1 down comeback team, the 2015-16 Cleveland Cavaliers. They had a 57-25 record, and like I mentioned, they came down back from down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors to win the NBA Finals. Surprising they're only at 19 on this list. This Cavs squad is 83 overall in the game, and they had a 110.9 offensive rating. Next squad, another fun one, the 2014 Lob City Los Angeles Clippers. They had a 57-25 regular season record. They lost in the conference semifinals that season. I believe that was that's the earliest playoff exit this high on the list. Everybody else either won the finals or lost the conference finals from here on out. This Lob City Clips team is an 83 overall, and they had a 112.1 offensive rating. The next squad is the Shaq and Penny 1995 Orlando Magic. There was an ESPN 30 for 30 done on this squad, so they're pretty well documented for having lost the finals to the Akeem Olajuwon and I believe Clyde Drexler and the Houston Rockets. But yeah, this Magic squad, 57-25 in the regular season, 81 overall, and then 115.1 offensive rating. Next up, we have the previous year's iteration of the Houston Rockets. So not the 95 Rockets, but the 93-94 Rockets. They had a 58-24 record. They won the finals. This was their first of back-to-back championships with Akeem Olajuwon. And then this Rockets team is the lowest overall this high on the list, with a 79 overall in the game, and then a 105.9 offensive rating. Number 15 on my list, so we're into the top half, is the 03-04 Minnesota Timberwolves. This team had Kevin Garnett and Sam Cassell, a couple notable players that they had. They were 58-24 in the regular season. Minnesota lost the conference finals this year to the Lakers, I believe. Yes, this would have been the Lakers. They're at 80 overall, and they had a 105.9 offensive rating. So that's Minnesota at number 15 from 2003-2004. Number 14, we have another newer squad, the 2018 and 2019 Toronto Raptors. They also had a 58-24 record like our last couple teams. They won the NBA Finals over the injury-riddled Golden State Warriors. They're an 83 overall, and they had a 113.1 offensive rating. This was the team that traded DeMar DeRozan to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard. They also, of course, had Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, among other players, and Danny Green, too. Great, he was great for the Spurs, too. I think, yeah, they got Danny Green in the Kawhi trade as well. Yeah, that is the 2019 Raptors. Next, we have the 2002 Kings, who were cheated out of an NBA Finals appearance due to some bad refereeing. This Kings squad was 61-21. They lost the conference finals and are at 83 overall in the game. This team included players such as Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, and Peja Stojakovic. And yeah, like I said, they were cheated out of an NBA Finals appearance. They lost the conference finals against the Lakers. Next up, we have the Karl Malone and John Stockton 97-98 Utah Jazz. They were 62-20 in the regular season. They lost the finals to Michael Jordan and the Bulls. 81 overall in the game and had a 112.7 offensive rating. That's number 12, the Utah Jazz. Number 11 on the list, so we're one away from the top 10. So number 11, the 2004-2005 Phoenix Suns. They were 62-20 in the regular season, lost the conference finals to the Lakers, I believe. Yeah, or Spurs. No, they lost the conference finals to the Spurs. This Suns team is an 81 overall in 2K and have a 114.5 offensive rating. They included players such as Steve Nash, Hall of Famer, Shawn Marion, and among others, and Amari Stoudemire too as well. Next up, we have a Spurs squad to start off our top 10. The 2013-2014 San Antonio Spurs. They went 62-20 in the regular season. They defeated the Miami Heat in the finals that year and are at 84 overall in the game. At number 9, I think this is a bit of an overrated squad, but they're in this spot because of their regular season record. The 1990-91 Portland Trailblazers. They're 63-19 in the regular season, lost the conference finals, and are at 81 overall in the game. I believe Clyde Drexler was on this team, and they had some other really solid players too, including Kevin Duckworth. And I'm just not thinking of any other guys who were on this team, but yeah, a really good regular season team were the Blazers, and they just missed out on the NBA Finals that year. The next squad we have is the 1988-89 Bad Boy Pistons, sitting at number 8. They were 63-19 in the regular season, won the finals, and they are at 83 overall in the game. At number 7, we have the Seattle Supersonics. Yes, I did include the 95-96 Supersonics in place of the Pelicans because they don't really have a great all-time team in the game, or they don't have an all-time team, and I didn't want to include their current squad, so I have the Supersonics and Thunder on this list. That's pretty cool. So 96 Supersonics, they're at 84. They went 64-19 in the regular season, and they lost the finals to Michael Jordan and the Bulls. This squad had Gary Payton as a notable player on their team. So Seattle coming in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have the Magic Johnson-led 1986-87 Los Angeles Lakers. They were 65-17 in the regular season, and they won the NBA Finals. Next up here, we're in the top 5, is the 1970-71 Milwaukee Bucks. They were 66-16 in the regular season, and they won the Finals. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was their MVP that year. Or was the Finals MVP? Or Lou Alcindor, as he used to be called. And this next 71 Bucks squad is at 82 overall in the game. Coming in at number 4 is one of the Heatles squads, the 2012-2013 Miami Heat. 66-16 in the regular season. They won the finals, and they have a slightly higher overall than the Bucks at 82.38. So I put them ahead. In terms of talent, this team is a lot better than that Bucks squad because they had LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Mario Chalmers, Udonis Haslem, among others, and Ray Allen. I don't remember if Ray Allen was on this team. I think he was. He was either on this squad or he was on the 2014 squad. But anyways, this Heat team was stacked, and yeah, they come in at our top 4 position. Coming in at number 3, we have the 1985 to 1986 Robert Parrish and Larry Bird Boston Celtics. Our one and only 67-15 team, and they won the NBA Finals against, I believe, Magic Johnson and the Lakers that year. I could be wrong. So yeah, that is the Boston Celtics, and we have 2 teams left on the list. The next team is one of the Michael Jordan squads, the 1995 to 96 Chicago Bulls, from the same year as the Sonics. They went 72-10 in the regular season, second best regular season record ever in NBA history, and they defeated Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics in the finals that season. And coming in at number 1, the greatest regular season team in NBA history, the 2015-16 Golden State Warriors, 72-9 as you all know, and they lost the finals to the Cavs after blowing a 3-1 lead. First team to do that in the finals. And of course, this team was centered around the core of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, among other players. And they also had Andre Iguodala as well, who had won the Finals MVP that previous year. And yeah, that wraps up my list of NBA franchises ranked. I'll just go through it quickly once again. Number 30 was the 2007 Wizards. Was the Wizards. Number 29 was the 93 Hornets. 28, 2012 Thunder. 27, the 1972 Knicks. 26, the 1986 Hawks. 25, the 77 76ers. That's a lot of sevens. 24 was the 2002 Nets. 23 was the current 2023 Denver Nuggets. 22 was the 2014 Pacers. 21 was the 2013 Grit and Grind Grizzlies. 2011 was the Mavericks at 20. At 19 was the 2016 Cavs. 18 was the 2014 Lob City Clippers. 17 was the 95 Magic. 16, 94 Rockets. 15, 2004 Timberwolves led by Kevin Garnett. 14 was the 2019 Raptors. 13, 2002 Kings. 12, 1998 Jazz. 11, 2005 Suns. 10, 2014 Spurs. 9 was the 1991 Blazers. 8 was the 1989 Pistons. 7, 1996 Supersonics. 6, 1987 Lakers. And then the top 5, the 1971 Bucks. 4, the 2013 Heat. 7, 1986 Celtics. And number 2, the 1996 Bulls. And last but certainly not least, the 2016 Warriors. Hopefully you all enjoyed this list. I certainly had a blast making it. And this leads into my next video, which is going to kick off a 2-part tournament, NBA 2K tournament, which I will explain in the next video. And it's going to include all of these squads, all 30 of them. Should be a fun one, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's for sure. So once again, my name is Nick, and I am signing off. Have a great day, everybody.